Channel 3's mic slide a little here. I'll try to. Channel 3 has a Rode mic. Let me see. Will it still pick up okay if I'm here? For Channel 3, is that picking up all right with it down here? Okay, good. All right, I think we'll get started. You all good? All right, thanks everyone for coming today. I'm County Executive Joe Parisi. Joining me today we have Jerry Manley from the Dane County Highway Department and Charles Tubbs from Dane County Emergency Management, as well as the highway staff with us today. As folks know, we're about to get a storm that will significantly impact travel on Thursday and Friday. The snow will begin later this evening and go through Thursday. And even when the snow tapers off Friday, that's actually when we're expected to have the worst driving conditions. The winds are going to come, it's going to be very cold, and we could have whiteout conditions. So we're asking people to exercise extreme caution. Stay off the roads as much as possible, particularly on Friday. As I mentioned, this will be a two-phase storm with snow on Thursday and Friday with extreme wind and extreme cold. Right now they're talking winds with gusts over 40 miles per hour. This will cause localized whiteout conditions, especially outside of the city of Madison. County staff are coordinating response efforts. Highway Department, Emergency Management, the Sheriff's Office are all in coordination together, working with local municipalities as well as Wisconsin Emergency Management to make sure that we do everything we can to keep folks safe over the next couple of days. The bottom line is driving will be difficult, so please minimize travel once this storm begins. The Dane County Highway Department will be out in force plowing with a number of additional pieces of equipment on the road. We ask that you give our plow drivers plenty of room to do their work. Try not to pass them, try not to drive too closely behind them, let them do their job. So everyone, we just want to make sure folks are aware, ask you to be safe over the next couple of days, monitor your local weather. The local news departments, weather departments will be keeping folks up to date, and so please exercise extreme caution over the next couple of days. We're going to have a little update on Dane County's Highway Department efforts, what we have going on, when it's going to begin, and what things are going to look like from Jerry Manley, and then any of us will be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. I also have our operations superintendent here with me, Tim Pelton, today. So we'll have 60 units out running. You can see the various units that we have here. The tow plow, we'll be using graders. You can see the big V plow on the grader. And we even have the old Oshkosh out in case the drifting gets bad here, the large yellow unit that we use when there's extreme drifting. The issues you're going to see are maybe not so much from the actual snow itself, but from the drifting that's going to take place. So we ask be very cautious, give our folks the room they need to do their job. There'll be rapidly changing conditions. So if you're traveling in the city of Madison, Beltline, even on the interstate, things are going to look pretty good. But if you get off that main path, those places will drift over fairly quickly. And we can get through those areas, but they can drift by the time we come through and then have to make a second pass through those. So be very careful. Oftentimes our folks will be out there. You really need to give them the room. If they can't see you in their mirrors, they can't see you. So I know people are trying to get kind of last things done right now, but we really need to give our folks the opportunity to get out there and get it cleared up. The amount of snow isn't really what is going to matter that much when the winds are going to be blowing that severely. As Joe mentioned, there'll be those whiteout conditions. So the green and yellow lights that we have help us be more visible, but really give people a chance to do their job. They want to get home safe to their family as well as get people safe to their destinations as well. So thank you. Yeah, so the tow plow will be, we have 4 of the tow plows that will be out during the storm as well. and the rest, that'll be part of the 60 truck fleet that'll be out when we mobilize for the storm.
Thanks, Jerry. Does anyone have any questions?
Jerry, could you go through what each device does to their specialty and what they can do and how they help motorists and passers on roadways?
Yeah, the tow plow is a truck that, besides just being a plow in itself, covers a wider area so we can get more done and move more snow, try to get the roads cleared up faster. The large yellow truck will use that as kind of a drift breaker. It's a strong area. There's certain roads, depending on which direction the wind's coming, that can basically drift in a very short time period. So that can break through those drifts very quickly. The other trucks, the graders, will do kind of the same thing. That allows us to go out and break through those drifts, open them up, but also bench the snow off to the side to keep that drift from coming back in again.
This sounds silly, but great to what it's
Oh yeah, so the tow plow is the trailered plow to the side. And Oshkosh has the V plow in the front, the yellow truck, and the grader behind me. We also have a number of loaders if we need to move a lot of snow very quickly that we can use as well.
You can't go over here past the series of snowstorms, and if this one doesn't seem to be as bad as it was projected a couple of days ago, but how does this one differ, and what challenges does this snowstorm present to your crews and motorists these next 48 to 72 hours?
I think every snowstorm is different, so we try to get our people, our equipment, and our materials in the best place for us to have success in the storm. Then the storm happens, and then we kind of move things around to adjust to the conditions that are happening. I think the biggest elements here are that it's going to be a very light snow. So the amount of snow that comes doesn't matter, but when you have wind gusts when you have wind that's constantly about 25 to 30, that'll create those whiteout conditions. When you have gusts that are up to almost 50 miles per hour, that'll create those whiteout conditions and create drifting very, very quickly. So that creates the new challenges that we're looking at.
The temperature is also a great challenge with de-icing and making traction on the roadways.
Yeah, that will also be a challenge for us as well. Some places will blow clean, but also if there's more traffic out there, if the tires get over that and form conditions on the road, the materials won't be quite as effective. So we'll have to watch that and how we're responding and with the amount of traffic that's there as well.
And during time frame, what tells your crews when they can get out, what arteries to hit versus the neighborhoods? What goes into that, and can you tell viewers at home what times you guys are going to be doing your thing?
Well, we'll bring a dispatcher in ahead of the storm that'll continue to watch it as it's approaching, and based on that, we'll call our people in. We have two 12-hour shifts that are run, but we also have roads in the county that we cover from 3 a.m. to 7 p.m. On those off hours, there won't be anyone on those roads. So that 16-hour period where they're covered in the day. What we do is we make that decision. We go out. We're trying to prevent it from being very slippery in these type of conditions. So we don't have a minimum amount of snow that falls before we go out. We'll be watching it right from the very beginning to try to keep that road safe for the traveling public. Sure. Right. Yeah, we ask that you stay back 300 feet from the plows. That really gives a chance for them to see you in their mirrors, but they also are stopping and starting when they get to intersections, sometimes have to back up. They'll put materials off of, over multiple lanes. And in general, if you come up and are trying to pass it, the conditions in front of a plow usually are not as good as what they've just covered. So that's give them room to do their job. The other part of the question was, I've been doing it for almost 19 years, and we haven't had a point where we've actually pulled plows off of the road. So they're professionals. They take it as a challenge, and we continue to fight these storms. There might be times where we have to back off a little bit, make sure everyone's rested, but we'll continue to fight the storm. And I think they take this as a challenge, and they're kind of excited to go out there and attack it. So that we'll continue to use that same attitude coming into this storm. Yes, they'll be we'll continue to cover this. We're hoping that this storm will, subside somewhat. The winds will back down a little bit. It's our desire to hopefully get some of our plow drivers home so they can enjoy Christmas with their families or the holidays with their families. But we'll do what we have to do to keep the road safe for everyone else traveling. Sure. I think, monitoring your speed and the conditions. We often see people will be using their cruise control during snowstorms, and, with rapidly changing conditions, that is not the best situation. If you give room for people in front of you, it prevents you from having to make emergency braking or evasive decisions. So just giving yourself that time, be a little bit defensive in your driving patterns, that helps tremendously as well.
Like you said, every snowstorm is different. Is there something that is on your mind that you want people to know about this specific snowstorm, whether people kind of need to readjust their winter legs?
I think as you're driving, there's going to be certain parts of the storm where the road's going to look very clear, but those conditions can change really quickly. It might be blowing across and freezing, and so it might look really clear, but with these type of winds, it's going to change those conditions very, very quickly. So really be aware of those rapid changing conditions or visibility. You could be seeing just fine and then, get into whiteout conditions when the wind's blowing this hard.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, assess your own, situation and your own abilities and prioritize safety. Tomorrow's going to be challenging because of the snow, but again, particularly on Friday is when we're expecting it to be bad with the wind, with the cold, with potential whiteout. So, we would like people to drive as little as possible, and especially on Friday, only if necessary. It's better to have a little inconvenience and stay at home than end up in a ditch. Yeah, the homeless consortium, the county, and all of the providers we work with are on top of making sure that everyone has a place to stay, that anyone who's unsheltered is aware of and has access to the shelter system. So there's a broad array of folks out in the community making sure that people have the ability to stay safe during the worst of the storm. Other questions?
How many vehicles will be on the road?
I'm sorry?
How many vehicles will be on the road?
Was it 60? 60? Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. Good luck over the next couple of days.
News 3 Now is always on.
Get the Channel 3000 app, activate the push alerts, and we will send you breaking news, traffic, and weather alerts as it happens.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.